Traveling in a comfortable car down a rainy road in the autumn, we saw a ragged fellow at nightfall signal to us for a ride with a low bow.
The performance 10 Brecht Poems is about the giving and receiving of poetry. 10 poems by Bertolt Brecht.
No, we can't take anyone with us.
Brecht was writing about oppression, about the need for dissent in times of the silencing of the masses. But aside from the issues, which are very prevalent in the poetry, without being didactic, I think, they're presented in a beautiful poetic way and with great irony and humor.
Keep your head. Your science will be valueless, you'll find, and learning sterile if inviting, unless you pledge your intellect to fighting against all enemies of all mankind. Never forget that men like you got hurt, that you might sit there and not the other lot.
10 Brecht Poems asks big questions. What do we do when faced with oppression? How do we come together? What's the importance of dissent? What is our collective responsibility as a society? What's our collective responsibility when faced with oppression?
An old woman appeared one day. Her daily bread had gone astray. The troops had scoffed it on the way. So she fell in the gutter, began to freeze, and there her hunger passed away. They won't say when a child skimmed a flat stone across the rapids, but when the great wars were being prepared for. They won't say the times were dark, but rather, why were their poets silent?
The book, which is a collection of about 1,200 poems by Bertolt Brecht, fell into my hands when my friend gave it to me, and I started reading them on the subway, and they became like these little miniature scenes, these beautiful jewels, and I began to think, of course, theatrically about them, and it really was a beautiful, blessing to have received this book and to get the idea to let's make a play.
With a stump of chalk from his tunic pocket, he drew a white cross on the palm of his hand. With that, and in civvies, he went to where the unemployed queue up and curse. He cursed along with the rest of them, and as a token of his approval and solidarity, patted anyone on the shoulder who cursed, whereupon the marked man, white cross on his back, would be caught by the S.A.
Tannis approached me with this idea, and at first I thought, wow, I don't know, it sounds really dark. Then I saw the poems, and those poems resonated with me in such a profound way. I thought, I need this. I need to be working on this.
Great Babel vomited, and it sounded like freedom, and coughed, and it sounded like justice, and farted again, and it sounded like prosperity. And wrapped in a bloody sheet, a squalling brat was brought to the balcony and shown to the people with the ringing of the bells.
And it was war, and it had 1,000 fathers.
Ding! From the people proceeds the power of the state. But
Where does it proceed to?
yes, where is it proceeding to?
There's someplace it's proceeding to.
The policemen proceed to the station gate.
I saw the old god of war stand in a bog between chasm and rock face. He smelled of free beer and carbolic and showed his testicles to adolescents.
Ew!
Artists have a responsibility to tell the truth. Great art is about presenting great truths.
When evildoing comes like falling rain, nobody cries out, "Stop!" When crimes begin to pile up, they become invisible. When sufferings become unendurable, the cries are no longer heard. The cries, too, fall
Like rain in summer.
Brecht Poems gave us and the audience room to make associations and room to have emotional and imaginative reactions and responses, which is what they need. Can we change oppression? Can we alter the inevitability of people's suffering? And the answer is, through empathy, yes.
One of my favorite poems, and it continually comes back, is a very short poem. And that one speaks to me so strongly because that's what this whole show is about. I'm singing about the dark times.
In the dark times, will there also be singing?
Yes, there will also be singing about the dark times. O kolo radistia vodien catece ideclam shoiec chosimaniese nise milashu Shvatsanu shvatku neviejem